Namaskar, I am Dr. Sangeeta, Assistant Professor in MERI College. Today we are discussing on a fintech topic, and it's a great pleasure to us that we have CA Amit Arora sir. He has a great and rich experience at Doordarshan. So it's a great opportunity, sir,
Thank you.
that you have with us. So generally we talk about the financial and tax literacy. So you also written on that particular topic, and you also played a great story on that. So just we want to know that what is the financial and tax literacy, and what is the importance of that?
Thank you very much, Dr. Sangeeta, for inviting me in Mary Institute.
Yes, sir.
Financial and tax literacy is very important. So India got independence in 1947,
Yes,
and in 75 years today we have got 90 plus literacy
yes, sir.
across India. But over the course of next decade, the emphasis will be on financial literacy and tax literacy. It is because we are now into digital economy. I think viewers of the program will agree that today, if you want to buy a cinema ticket, you want to buy groceries, you want to buy medicine, you go to an entertainment park, everywhere you're using UPI and digital infrastructure. So, therefore, there is pros and cons to it. One has to be literate in terms of how do I use it so that nobody can dupe me of my money. And therefore, financial literacy becomes very important. At the same time, ignorance of law is no excuse. So, if there is income, there is income tax.
Yes,
And if you're making any goods and services, there's the indirect tax impact.
yes.
And therefore, through my plays, through my short stories, it's been my endeavor that we use this popular medium and tell the masses that they need to be educated on financial and tax literacy.
Yes, sir. So, you will say that what is the futures or what is the perspective of the financial and tax literacy, sir?
Well, the future is very bright
Mm.
because India, as you see, our GDP is growing. We
Yes,
are
sir.
growing at 7% per annum. India is one of the largest emerging economies, and Prime Minister has gone on record that India will now be among top three in the world. So the transactions is going to increase, and therefore finances are the backbone of any organization. And in a digital economy, with all the data points being captured, it's very essential that we are aware and we track our own finances. So whether it is a personal finance, like you earn money, you should be able to track your income and expenses. If there's a company, they should be able to monitor their expenses.
Yes, sir.
And today, fintech has become part of our lives because if you look at the income tax portal
Yes, sir.
of the government of India, maybe income tax portal will know more about Dr. Sangeeta's life and expenses and income more than you.
Yes, sir. Sir, we always talk about the fintech, and if we are like see that fintech is used every sectors. Either it can be banking sector, education sectors, everywhere it is used.
Yes.
So just explain what is the actually fintech. If you talk about the every time fintech, so what is the base? What is the basic concept of fintech?
See, the basic concept is this very program.
Yes, sir.
If you talked about Management Education Research Institute like this about a decade or 2 decades back, teaching would have only meant, or conversation would have only meant on a blackboard or on a
Yes, sir.
whiteboard and some students. But today we have this e-learning module,
Yes,
right?
sir. We all
It's being captured by camera. You've got the lights, and we're sitting inside an educational institute. Why? Because technology has made all of this possible. Now, when technology is impacting every sector, how can the financial sector be left behind? So you combine finances plus technology, you come to fintech. So when you use different payment apps to pay for groceries or your other day-to-day needs, you are using fintech. The idea is that we understand this bit more and we know which app to select and how to ensure that the transaction I'm doing is secure so that my money is safe.
So, are we using blockchain technology for the fintech for the transaction security actually?
Yes, we are using, there is blockchain, there is artificial intelligence being used today. So it is very essential that when you have these links coming to you, you are financially literate. Now you have an OTT series which has also come on it, which talked about phishing. So there's always, it's always a double-edged sword. So if somebody says you whether knife is good, well, if you're using to cut a tomato or a potato, it's good.
Yes,
But if you want to hurt somebody, it's bad. Similarly, technology is also a double-edged sword. It is an integral part of our life, but we have to ensure that it's the human behind the machine who's more important.
So, sir, if you talk about the fintech, so what is the future regarding in perspective of investment portfolio? If you talk about the fintech we are using also in stock market and any other investment platform also. So, what is the scenario in the futures of the fintech investment?
I think the investment scenario is also very bright.
Yes, sir.
People have realized that what is savings, why
Yes, sir.
it's important that if you want to generate wealth, once you have income from diverse sources, you have savings. Then you also put those savings to investment. Now, there was a school of thought where people used to only invest in fixed deposit
Yes.
or gold. But today, the risk taking capacity of the people are also increasing. With technology, they can understand the diversified products that the market has to offer. And fintech has brought investment options at their doorstep.
Yes.
Today, on their mobile, they can download
Yes,
app.
sir.
There are so many. And then you can see the trend and analysis, whether
Yes,
you want to
sir.
invest in equity or mutual funds, and decide and monitor it and just grow. So I think that fintech has made it a very easy accessible to all of these investment products.
So, sir, if we implement the fintech, so we need the basically infrastructure also. So we always talk about the digital infrastructures. So what is the digital infrastructure, sir?
So see, till yesterday, if somebody talked about infrastructure, maybe our viewers will only think about ports,
Yes, sir.
airports,
Yes, sir.
roads, bridges.
We
But
always
that's
think about that when we listen about the infrastructure. So we always think about that is a road or this kind of buildings we can see there.
yes.
So if you talk about the proper digital infrastructure.
Yes,
so,
but all of this is physical, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, infrastructure also has a prefix digital. Now, see, last 2-3 years, India has recorded millions of financial transactions,
Yes, sir.
particularly during COVID. It helped us a lot. But it was courtesy UPI, the Unified Payment Interface that government created. That is an example of digital infrastructure. In 2024, one of the other digital infrastructure that will boost e-commerce is ONDC, Open Network for Digital Commerce.
Yes, sir.
So all of this digital infrastructure is enabling digital Bharat. The other thing is the JAM Trinity.
Yes, sir.
Now, you've seen how in the last decade, over 50 crore people have had access to bank accounts. So, J, Jandhan, A, Aadhaar.
Yes, sir.
So, Aadhaar has also been given to every Indian, which is a identity that they have. And then M, mobile. Everybody today has mobile. Everybody today has the internet connectivity. So, JAM, Jandhan, Aadhaar, mobile, plus
Yes, sir.
all the digital infrastructure like UPI, ONDC is making an enabling ecosystem for people to embrace fintech and do their tasks better.
Okay. Sir, like you said about the various schemes regarding government schemes, actually you introduced that. So many of people are not aware about this kind of, scheme which is provided by the government. So is there any platforms where we can search out this type of scheme, government scheme? Actually, we always trust on the, authentic source. So any platforms where we can search out or we can, find the information regarding that?
See, today we have entered the education 4.0,
Yes, sir.
which is that you've got all of these information on the internet. And
Okay.
we are into the era of anytime learning, anywhere learning.
Yes, sir.
I think one just has to go to the internet and you can find credible sources. Make sure that when you find any piece of news, you corroborate it from different sources and you can find out which one has the credentials. You're absolutely right. Government also, both at the center and state, comes up with a lot of schemes
Yes,
that will
sir.
enable the innovative minds to have access to funds,
Yes,
to
sir.
have the mentor availability, to have the availability of an incubator, accelerator. And once you Google and apply your sense, you will get to know that this is the credential thing. There are a lot of government websites. There's a dedicated website for Startup India campaign as well.
Sir, actually, in our education sectors, and we are all finance faculty, so we always take opportunity to invest in a small type for the student perspective actually.
Yes.
So we always take initiate that student also participate this type of investment planning
Yes.
through the fintech.
Yes.
So you wanna suggest some little more about that? The student can also take opportunity regarding that platform.
So see, as I said, it has to be an individual choice.
Yes,
Today, if
sir.
you look, the best part is market has got a lot of options. So
Yes,
there is
sir.
Grow, there is Zerodha, there is Upstock, there is the
Yes.
ICI Direct. A lot of banks would have their another site where one can go and invest. So one can choose any of them. It is like when you open your bank account. If you have a bank account at a certain bank, you can choose the portfolio also with that
Yes,
bank
sir.
only because your savings bank is with that account. So say, for example, somebody goes to ICI Direct. You can shift some money, like you said, from educational purposes, say 5,000 rupees from your
Okay.
savings bank, bring it to, say, ICI Direct,
Okay, sir.
and then invest, say, 1,000 rupees on a couple of stocks. You'd see which stock would you like to buy. Would you like to go with the blue chip companies? Those
Okay,
are the
sir.
big names that we are all aware of. You'd like to invest into an IPO that is being coming. At least go through that particular process. Don't put all your money in one basket. So
Okay.
maybe if you've invested 1,000 in equity, you can tell your students to put 1,000 in a mutual fund. Let them understand when they're putting into the mutual fund, what is the prefix? Is it saying regular mutual fund? Is it saying direct mutual fund? So what does direct means? That will be invested, 100% of your money will invest in the mutual fund.
Yes.
If there's a regular mutual fund, that means there must be an intermediary. So a certain percentage goes to the intermediary, the remaining goes into the mutual fund. So make a mixed bag. You can also invest in commodities, whether gold, silver, or agro commodities. So go to the website, explore, swim, and put your money, like you rightly
Yes,
said.
sir.
You'll make some profit. Maybe you'll end up having losses somewhere, but overall you'll be gaining with a lot of experience.
Yes, sir. Sir, you want to add something more about the fintech if you want?
Well, I would just say that future belongs to fintech, present already belongs to fintech, and therefore just demystify that this is nothing but the combination of finance and technology. Technology is a force multiplier. Technology ensures level playing field for everyone, and I think somebody who's going to benefit most out of fintech is the small business.
Yes,
So if
sir.
somebody today wants to become entrepreneur, and you are a first generation entrepreneur in your family, no problem. You can leverage the value of fintech and ensure growth for your own family and create wealth for the society as well. So I wish them all the best.
Thank you so much. So today we, go for in a detail fintech, and sir give the great, exposure about
Thank
the fintech and other aspect also. So thank you so much, sir, for
Thank you.
giving such a valuable time to us.
Pleasure.
So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Namaskar.